October is like our Christmas time here.
'Tis the season for getting spooked near Shockoe Bottom.
So it's all about the darkness, the unknown.
Edgar Allan Poe, the author who penned some of American literature's most chilling tales, called Richmond home.
Oh, Poe moved all over the place. He had to go where the writing jobs were. He was a magazinist, but this is where he got his start, and he always considered Richmond his hometown, so he kept coming back here.
At this museum, all things Poe are celebrated, from his birth and career to his death.
Well, Poe could do just about anything. He wrote prose, poetry, he wrote nonfiction.
Museum curator and Poe impersonator Chris Semner says the 19th century author remains fresh to this day.
Well, Poe's works have survived because he's really ahead of his time. He tapped into something really modern. He knew that the scariest things weren't the ghosts and the goblins out there, they're in here. And he understood the darkness that lies within us all.
Many of the bricks used to build the museum and its gardens came from demolished buildings where Poe lived and worked.
It's awesome. I love it so much. It's like Halloween every day.
The museum's marketing coordinator, Hannah Rupi, who shares a birthday with the writer, says Poe's spirit abounds.
Yeah, definitely. I think through all of the pieces that we have here and the pieces that we've acquired over the years, you can definitely feel that.
Chris Semner says this compilation of memorabilia is unrivaled.
No, this is anything but a static collection. It's continuing to grow. We're always getting new items. Just within the past few years, we've probably gotten over 100 new, old artifacts.
The museum is home to a piece of the writer's original coffin from 1849 and Poe's pocket watch, which inspired him while writing one of his most celebrated works, The Telltale Heart.
Well, this is like stepping inside of a Poe story, actually holding a piece of that story, because you imagine this is the mental image he would have had when he was describing the watch in that story, and we've got Poe's watch, the one that he owned when he was writing it.
This is no static collection. The number of artifacts tied to the horror writer is growing. The newest addition, a rare letter penned by Poe in 1839.
There's always new things being discovered and coming into the collection.
What makes this missive unique? It is who the young writer addressed the letter to. The recipient, none other than literary giant Washington Irving, of Legend of Sleepy Hollow fame.
Oh, this is an amazing treat to have here. It's really a piece of literary history. This is sort of like the passing of the torch from one generation to the next.
In the letter, Poe is seeking Irving's approval.
And this is Poe at the start of his career, struggling. He's about to publish his first collection of short stories. And he wants the established, famous author to write him a blurb to help advertise his book.
The keepsake was donated by Poe collector Susan J. Taine from New York.
It's a super interesting letter just to see how humble Poe is in reaching out to this titan of American literature to ask for his opinion of his writing.
The 185-year-old letter demonstrates not just what the author wrote, but how he wrote.
The writing process. If you look really closely, you can see where the pen pauses, where there's more or less pressure. You can actually follow the pen across the paper.
For fans of the horror writer, it's like standing over Poe's shoulder as he put ink to paper.
And this is the closest you can get to meeting Poe in the flesh.
Edgar Allan Poe died in 1849, but he is very much alive on Main Street.
You should embrace Poe because he brings forth the weirdness, the darkness, the strangeness within us, and shows us how to appreciate the bizarre things all around us.
An ancient artifact helping the visitor see a more human side of the Richmonder, who has been scaring readers for centuries.
Well, artifacts like these put the skin on history. It's not just something in a book or on a website. These are the physical, tangible reminders of Poe, and they all have stories to tell. and they were the witnesses to history.
You too can get up close and personal with the 1839 letter penned by this man at the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in downtown Richmond 6 days a week. For I Have a Story, I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News.